Assalamualaikum. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to Sir Aiman. So today, me and my group mates would like to present about parking system park and go. Before we start the presentation, let us introduce ourselves first. My name is KHAIRUL Shafiq bin KHAIRUL AZMIR.
Hi, my name is AIMAN ZAIM bin Muhammad ZUBIR.
Hello, my name is ABDIN SHAKIRIN bin ANUAR.
And hi, my name is Muhammad ZIKRI bin YUSRIZAL.
Parking management has become a problem in many public places because the number of vehicles is increasing every year. In many parking areas, the system is still done manually where staff needs to calculate parking hours and charges. This process takes a lot of time and can easily cause calculation errors and misunderstandings between users and parking operators. Besides that, manual parking system do not clearly show parking rates or how the total charge are calculated. Because of this, users often feel confused or think that the amount that need to pay is not accurate. At the same time, parking records such as total vehicles, parking duration, and daily revenue are also difficult to manage properly. Therefore, this project proposes a parking toll system that can automatically calculate parking charges based on parking hours. The system also manages the payment process and displays a receipt for users. With this system, parking management can be done in a more systematic and efficient way. So now I will explain about objective of the parking toll system. First and foremost is automatic parking charge calculation. The first goal of this system is to automatically calculate parking charges based on how long vehicle is parked. Users don't need to calculate manually, which makes the process faster and reduce mistakes. Next is clear receipts for users. The system will provide a clear receipt showing the number of hours parked, the rate per hour, and the total charges. This helps users understand their payment clearly and avoids confusion. The third one is manage parking records. The program will keep track of all vehicles entering and leaving the parking area and record daily revenue. This makes it easier for parking operators to monitor and manage their parking business. Objective number 4 is practicing programming concepts. By creating this program, students will practice basic programming concepts like sequential structures to do tasks step by step, selection to make decisions in the program, and repetition to handle multiple vehicles efficiently. Number 5 is implement modular programming with functions. The system will use functions to calculate charges or generate receipts. Some functions will use pass by the value, which works on a copy of the data, while others use pass by reference, which can change the original data. This makes the program more organized and easier to manage. And lastly is improve parking management efficiency. Overall, the main goal is to make parking management more organized, faster, and accurate compared to manual systems. Both users and staff will have a better experience with fewer mistakes and better records.
So next is the problem statement. First, drivers always come across problem when they want to search an empty parking spot, especially in city areas and when it is peak hours. This situation is not only wasting drivers' time but also increase the traffic and air pollution because of vehicles wandering aimlessly. Next is absence of a system that able to provide real-time information about parking spots. Most of the parking management still using manual process. The increase in the number of vehicles that is not balanced with the parking spot are available are also the factors that make searching for parking spot harder. The drivers experience dissatisfaction meanwhile the management face the inefficiency, operational and difficulty to control vehicle flows. Although there are navigation applications that can help to search for location, most of them did not provide any specific information about parking spots in real time. Lastly, urgent need to develop an application that can provide information about empty parking spots in real time. This application is not only able to manage parking spots, but it also has potential to reduce the traffic congestion and give better experience to others. Okay, so here is the pseudocode. So pseudocode is the first thing you need to have and do before you start programming or creating your application. So first is start, next is process 1, select parking location. If parking available, go to process 2. If parking unavailable, repeat process 1. Process 2, add new vehicle. Yes, go to process 3. No, end the process. Next is process 3, input details. If parking hour below or equal 0 hour, repeat process 3. Vehicle type invalid, also repeat process 3. Else, go to process 4. Process 4 is calculate toll. Toll equal to parking hours multiplied by rate per hour, multiply to rate per hour. Go to process 5. Process 5 is payment. Insufficient payment, repeat process 5. Sufficient payment, go to process 6. Process 6 is store data and update counters. It will update total vehicles, revenue, parking hours, and vehicle type counts. Go to process 7, which is display receipt. It shows your plate number, vehicle type, parking hours, toll, and change. Go to process 8. Process 8 is generate summary report. It displays result of every process. Go to process 9, which is another vehicle. If you want to add another vehicle back to process 1, if no, end the process.
This flowchart illustrates how the system manages vehicle entry, processes payments, and generates administrative reports to ensure an efficient parking experience. The process begins at the start node. First, the user is prompted to select a parking location. Once the location is chosen, the system displays the available floors and parking slots. To proceed, the user must enter the specific floor number and slot position for the vehicle. Next, the system asks if we are adding a new vehicle. If yes, the user inputs the license plate number, vehicle type, and total parking hours. We have included a validation loop here. If the entered parking hours are not greater than 0, an invalid input message appears, and the system prompts the user to re-enter the hours. This ensures data accuracy before moving to the financial stage. Once valid hours are confirmed, the system moves to calculate toll. The logic used is toll equal parking hours times rate per hour. After calculating the toll, the system manages the payment by determining the charges and calculating any change due to the customer, which is the amount paid minus toll. This data is then returned to the main process. After the transaction is finalized, the system performs 3 critical backend tasks. First, it stores the data and updates counters for real-time tracking. Second, it displays a digital receipt for the user's transparency. And finally, it generates a summary report which includes key metrics like the total vehicle, total revenue, average parking hours, and specific vehicle counts. Before ending, the system asks if there is another vehicle to process. If yes, it loops back to the input stage to handle the next customer. If no, the session concludes at the end node.
For this part, I shall demonstrate you our coding and system in C++. Hello, welcome to our coding in Dev C++. But I will actually show you the code since it will be too long. 303 lines, by the way. So anyway, we shall proceed to the system demonstration. So we shall press F11. So this is the interface when the customer clicks into our app. So you can see that it is centered for now until you press the full screen, which is it's no longer centered. I mean, you can my camera is blocking the way, but you get what I mean. But anyhow, we shall just proceed. So welcome to Park and Go, Park and Go menu. So we have first add vehicle, view rate, view summary report, view parking layout, and finally exit application. So we shall conduct a run where we assume the user doesn't do any errors while inputting their inputs. So select an option, number 1. So our first input is to enter the plate number. So the user of course has to enter a plate number that is valid. I mean valid is there is no symbols that doesn't make any sense in the plate number. So I have entered vehicle 278, so we shall proceed. And then we are met with another new UI, which is to select the vehicle type. Of course, there are users has to pick either one out of 4 choices. So either a car, a bike, a truck, or bus. Of course, each vehicle type has their own fees. So let's say the customer came to a mall with a car, so option number 1, which is 5 ringgits. And they hung around the mall around 4 hours. So 4 multiplied by 5 is 20. And the system will calculate the total amount of ringgits they have to pay. And this is where we shall put our input. So let's say I want to pay around 24 bucks. So we are met to our array. So this is where our array shall come in our coding. So we have options and of course the floor itself. So there are in total of 3 floors, respectively A, B, C, and the user can cycle between each floor. So next choice, which is floor 2 or floor B. So next floor is floor C, and then there's the limit. So until the user can just view where they would like to fit their slot in a parking floor. So let's say I want to go to floor number 1, and I would like to pick a row, let's say row 4 and column 5. Row 4, column 5. So we have to actually select the floor itself. So press S. So again, row 4, column 5. So this is our receipt. Again, since it is in full screen, it will look a bit weird, but no worries. So as you can see, plate number is recorded from our earlier input. They also recorded our car type, our vehicle type, which is a car. Our parking hours, which is 4 hours, and toll charges equals to 20 ringgit since we pick 4 hours. And of course, change return, which is 4 ringgit. Since we inputted 24 ringgit earlier, we get a total change of 4 ringgit returned to our pocket. And of course, it will mention which slot is reserved. So again, since I picked floor number 1, instead of floor number 1, 4, which is row 4. 4A-5 since column number 5. Alright, we shall proceed to the menu. Okay, before we proceed to our other run, I would like to show you the other options, which is view rate, view summary report, and view parking layout. So to view the rates, just press number 2, and then the system will show how many rates for each vehicle. Again, car is 5 ringgits, bike is 2 ringgits, truck is 10 ringgit, and bus is for 8 ringgits. So enter to return the menu again, and then actually I shall show you after we done another run of adding vehicle, but I can show you what is for view parking layout for. Again, we are met with this interface again, where users who like just to survey their options before actually going to the places, so they can, just like earlier, we can switch we can cycle the floor. So floor 2, floor 3, A, B, C, and to cycle back press P. And if you notice that this is an X over here, because this parking slot is now occupied by the car from earlier, and it will also carry on for how many times the customer enters their parking slots. So you can expect maybe this is a foot of access, this is zeros to show that an X is unavailable and a 0 is available to be taken off. So we shall press M to return to menu. And this is when I am going to show you another run where we assume that the user is going to make some errors during their inputs. So select one to add vehicle. So let's say their plate number has a exclamation mark, which is weird, right? In a plate number out of all things. Let's say UI 007. And invalid plate number, you cannot actually put exclamation marks. And only letters and numbers are allowed. So only alphanumerical letters. So let's say PG226. So vehicle type. What happens if we enter an option that is not listed above? So let's say number 5. Invalid choice. Simple as that. So let's say it's a bike. So parking hours. What if we entered a negative number? Invalid hours, because it doesn't make any sense. Negative cannot be an hour. So let's say around 3 hours. So what if the user enters a number below the required amount? So let's say 4 ringgits. You cannot. So the system will reject it and say invalid or insufficient payment. So we can pay maybe around 8 ringgit. Alright. So what if the user enters an option that is not listed over here? So maybe press A. Invalid option. A symbol. Invalid option. And maybe another symbol. Just for the fun of it. Alright. Invalid option. It won't allow the user to proceed to the next process. So let's proceed to maybe floor 2, since we have already done it on floor 1. Floor 2, maybe I would like to be it on row 6, column 7. Alright, row 6, column 7. So as row 6, column 7. Alright, so this is the receipt. So plate number recorded, PG226, vehicle type a bike, parking hours 3 hours, toll charges 6 ringgits, change return is 2 ringgit since we inputted 8 ringgits earlier, and it will mention it's a floor 2 6B-7. We shall proceed. Oh, there's something. Okay. So I shall show you the last 2 options, which is the summary report. So press 3. It will show that how many vehicles have registered in our application. So in total, that we did 2 test runs, so 2 vehicles, both VQ and PG. And they also calculate how many total revenue we have made throughout the day and average parking hours for each vehicle. It also listed how many vehicles have registered in our application. So 1 cars, 1 bikes. Of course, if there's truck and bus, it will also listed over here. Alright, return to menu. Oh, my bad. What? Alright, return to menu. So I think that's all. But last but not least, I shall show you the exit application process. to press 5. Exiting application, thank you for using Parking Go. See you again. And I think that is all from me. I shall pass the next part to my teammate. And bye-bye.
In conclusion, the parking toll system successfully replaces outdated manual processes with a more accurate, efficient, and transparent digital solution. By automating fee calculations and record keeping, the system eliminates human error, saves time for drivers, and provides management with clear data on revenue and vehicle flow. Beyond its practical use, the project demonstrates the effective application of modular programming and logic structures, proving that software-based management is essential for reducing traffic congestion and improving the overall parking experience in busy urban areas. That's all from us. Thank you.